Hey guys, welcome to my channel. The purpose of this video today is to show you how to build brand authority. If you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Shawana Livingston. I'm your brand alignment expert, and I help new entrepreneurs and small business owners with creating a brand that is in alignment with their purpose so that they can make an impact. So now that formal introduction's out the way, I want to jump right into what is brand authority. Brand authority is when people, not just your family, not just your friends, but other people look at you as an expert. They look at you as someone that can provide them with something that they do not currently possess or something that they cannot get themselves. So now that you know what it means to have brand authority, let's talk about how you get brand authority. What do you do to have people start to look at you as an expert? The first thing that you want to do is you want to show your value. A lot of times we know what we can do. We know, our education, we know our talents, we know our skill sets, and we automatically expect other people to know that value, but they don't. So that's why you have to show your value. A lot of you jump right into business and you go to selling something. You're telling people, hey, I have resume services, buy from me. Hey, I'm a travel agent, book with me. Hey, here's my clothing line, go to my site and buy my stuff. And you're telling people to buy from you, but you haven't yet shown them any value. Okay, so how do you build value? Like, what's that process of getting people to see your work? Imagine that you're watching TV and a commercial comes on of a lady standing in front of a mirror. And she's standing there and she's looking at her face. And as you watch the commercial, you notice that her face has agony all over it. She also looks like she has low self-esteem, or she doesn't, feel beautiful because of what she sees in the mirror. And then she picks up some type of product. She shows the product to the camera and she begins to take a big scoop of it and put it on her face. Okay, let's say the commercial, goes by really fast, and then boom, 3 days later, and she gets up, she goes back and she looks into the mirror and her face is clear as day. She looks like she has self-confidence. She's looking in the mirror as though she feels beautiful. She's smiling and her face is, all cleared up. So what just happened in that commercial? There are 3 important things that happen in that commercial, but all 3 of those things are not equally important. They're actually ranked in order of importance. And I'm going to rank these with you so that you can see how important it is to build brand authority before trying to sell a product or service. So I'm going to start with the least important thing that happened in that commercial. The least important thing that happened is that she picked up the product or service and she showcased it. Least important thing. The next least, or the one that's kind of important but kind of not important thing that happened is she showcased her face at the beginning. She had pimples. We saw that she wasn't self-confident and that she didn't like her face. But what's the most important thing that happened? The most important thing that happened in the commercial is the very end, when she woke up and she looked in the mirror and her face was cleared up. How she felt, that experience that was showcased at the end, was the most important thing. So let's talk about which one of those things from that list that I just mentioned is it that you do. Like, do you showcase the product? Do you showcase what happens before? And do you showcase what happens afterwards? Most of you just do number 3. You just get out there and you say, hey, buy from me, I'm selling this, buy it. So what should you be doing? You should be doing the most important thing. The most important thing that the woman in that commercial did was showcase that end result, the value that the product had just given her. And that's what it is that you need to do with your product or service. You need to be showcasing, why is this important? Why should you buy this? What's the worth of it? Why is it valuable? And if you are in a service-based business, it's the same thing with you. Like, why am I the one that you should be coming to? Why are my services valuable? Why is it, how am I going to help you solve your problem? Now that you know that you should be showing value first, let's talk about how you show that value, especially especially if you're just starting up. You're probably thinking, well, Shawana, well, how do I do that? Okay, I'm going to give you a list of a few ways that you can show your value. The first way is by testimonials or reviews. Statistics say that 92% of buyers look at a review and read a review before deciding to make a purchase. That means that they're looking towards the other people and seeing what those people's experience was before they purchase a product or service. So why don't you have testimonials and reviews, and why aren't you showcasing that before you're asking people to buy from you? Now, if you're just starting up, I know you're probably thinking like, hey, well, how do I get testimonials? And I just started. And the answer to that question is you give away your product or service for free. Yes, for free. Not at a discount, but for free. Okay, you find someone that may want to use your product or service. You find someone, who's interested or has a problem that you know that you can fix, and you do something for them. The result of that should be a testimonial or some type of review. And that's only if you did a good job. Now, if people aren't willing to give you a review, a good review of your product or service, then that's a whole nother video. Like, that's a whole nother problem that you need to fix before you even try to start a business selling stuff. Okay? All right. The next way that you can show your value is by getting a certificate or a degree. Now, this actually doesn't work as much as it used to in the past. Like, a lot of times you could just come straight out of school with some type of certification or degree to back you up, and people would immediately look at you as an authority. Well, over the years, degrees have been losing their value, which means it's not really that valuable to say that, you have an education in something. On top of that, how many of you guys, still look up reviews for a doctor's office before you go there? You don't care if the doctor has a PhD, they all have PhDs. But what you care about is the experience that's there. You still care about those reviews. So yes, it helps to have a degree, to have a certification. That's just like me. I have a Bachelor of Arts in Communications. My specialization was in public relations. That is very closely correlated to what I do now. So it does give me a little bit of value, but for some people, it just doesn't give me all of the value that they may need to actually purchase services from me. Another way that you can show your value is to use a platform to demonstrate or showcase your products or services. That could be like what I'm doing right now. I'm using YouTube to create a video to solve a problem for you in advance. That's the same thing as like having a podcast, or maybe having a blog or an email list and sending emails. Whatever it is that you can do to show people like, hey, this is how you use the product. This is how it would be more effective. This is how you can reuse the product. Or if it's a service base, you can show them in advance like, hey, this is how I hold consultations with my one-on-one clients. Or you can just solve a problem for them. That's like what I'm doing right now. I'm solving a problem for you guys. Am I giving you everything? Am I giving you all of my services? No, I'm not. But now you're gaining value from me that makes you more likely to purchase something from me. Another way that you can showcase value is by using relatability. People relate to your struggles a lot more than they relate to your success. If you are comfortable telling people a story, a personal story, or maybe a story about one of your clients or someone that's used your product or service and how it affected them, and relate to your audience through that story, then you are creating value. People are now able to connect to you. You are creating ethos, which is an emotional connection with your audience, and people like that. People trust that, and that's what people want before they buy from you. And the last way that you can create value or show your value is through your image and your persona. Guys, how are you showing up? Are you using the techniques that you're telling everybody else to use? Are you using the product that you're telling everyone else to buy? Are you living in a way that shows that you are capable of, handling business? You know, it's not just about what you do, but it's how you do it, and it's why you do it. All right, guys, so pretty much that's how you build your brand authority. And I'm telling you right now that if you are consistent with everything that I just mentioned in this video, you will see a change in your bank account. And I know that to be true because it's exactly what happened to me. When I first started Live Love Your Passion, I was giving away free value. I was also offering consulting services to people for the free, like $0. I was giving them my time. I was giving them my expertise without accepting a dime in return. But what that did for me is it made people want to buy from me. I didn't create a product or service for these people. You know, I didn't have everything already ready. People just started wanting to pay me hundreds of dollars, and I literally had to start rushing and putting things together and being like, okay, this is the package I want to sell. I had to set up payment systems, and then I created the business from the value that I was giving people. All right, so that's exactly how to build your brand authority. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.